and workspace. First thing I'd like to go over real quick, after saying thank you for watching, is that we're going to be talking about what I believe is the best way to swing a hammer and the way to do less damage to your body in the process. This has come from large amounts of construction experience. I've done framing, roofing, masonry, you name it. It's the job that's had to swing a hammer. I've done it. Well, with very few exceptions. And I've learned a few things about, it's not, my swing is not just a hammer, a blacksmithing hammer swing, or it's not a framing hammer swing, or a masonry hammer swing. It is the best pieces, and frankly, the masonry and the framing have a lot of things in common, in the fact that they have almost everything right. I'd like to first start off with the hammer, because how to hold the hammer is part of the hammer swing. And now I didn't do a job, but if you take from this point of the hammer to halfway down the handle is where the top of your hand should be. You take from this point to 2/3 of the way down the handle, that's where the back of your hand should be. Now, if you have the average North American male hand, which I do, handles are almost always the standard length. Now, proper handle width is where your fingers where your thumb and your forefingers barely cross over. So, with that, that's how you hold the hammer. Now, given the fact that the leather has a specialty strike, and cobbling shoemakers have a special strike, I haven't come across one for blacksmithing yet, but if I ever do, I will be sure to, at that point when I discover it, be sure to make a video right then and there. But for now, other than you need to control not only the rotation of your hammer, the angle of the head on your strike, because that will affect the type of that will affect the way the workpiece moves. And the reason why some people say have flat or make it more square is so that they can more easily swing it like this. Now, I don't have a problem with it. I sometimes swing it like this for a variety of reasons. As far as the handle being squared, that just makes indexing easier. I think it makes the handle more uncomfortable. And if you just, like with so many things, the solution to the argument, well, this is more control. Well, if you just practice better holding it right, you would get the control there too. It's just practice. So with that in mind, holding it there, I used to say there was basically 3 types of swing, but it's just kind of one flowing power curve. You have basically just the wrist. I mean, that's obvious. And then, of course, and then you add more power, add elbow. And yes, the wrist motion is almost at the very end of the strike. And then if at any point in time you need even more power than that, you need to bring it up. You never want to bring your hammer up higher than your eyes, because it's just a waste of motion. And it also does another thing that we'll be talking about here in a second. That's bringing your arm away from your shoulder, your arm away from your body. As I can bring it up. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it at that angle. But anyway, you don't want to do that. You want to keep it in your hammer swing. Your shoulder should be just free swinging. Have no and that will, and with practicing this, and you will get wham. You will actually have a much heavier hammer strike. 2, when you're right there at the very end, you don't want to let go of your hammer, but you want to loosen your grip just enough so that you're not having full contact with your hammer, but at the same time, you don't want it loose enough that it comes out of your hand. So that takes us through a full hammer swing. And when I'm paying attention to myself, now I have noticed times when I haven't. Now the thing is it with work height. Now that we have the hammer swing, let's talk about work height. When you're holding your hammer, naturally, and it's a 90-degree angle, that's your ideal work height hammer where you want your hammer to be. Now at the moment, which is going to lead to here, I have not set the anvil down. So it is a couple inches too high as it is. It should be right about there. But I'm going to leave it this way for this demonstration. And this is actually why we don't want to leave our shoulder, not necessarily pull it into our body, but leave it free swinging and hanging like that. Because as we go, as I was setting up for the rivet video, the last one, please go check that out. I was doing testing to make sure that my camera was set up right. You know, basically take the, this is a different set obviously, but taking the task piece and this, and doing the, and my hammer has to hit, but what it does is it brought my arm out to bring my piece up, which is a high demonstration of why we don't want, because one throws the alignment of the elbow. The alignment of the elbow wants to be like this. When we put our arm out, we're asking it to rotate this way. Which is why you want to keep everything in line, which is why, again, why it's free floating. It will naturally want to stay that way. So as I was doing this, I got this massive pain in my elbow. It's just because of the torquing and the tweaking. And obviously one of the big things that I preach hard is that we're trying to avoid damage to the elbow. So anything that almost instantly causes pain in the elbow is wrong. So then I instantly stopped and had to figure out what was wrong. Well, what it is this being this high is way out of my, for example, if I'm holding my hammer right, my work range is between here and here. Between here and here. And bringing it up pulls everything out of alignment and all wacky things up. So remember, it is never unacceptable to adjust things for yourself, especially when it comes to not wanting to hurt yourself. I created this. It's just 2x4s and 3/4 inch plywood, so that, well, basically for this very reason. At one point in time, I don't know if we still do or not, but we've had a 12-year-old blacksmith member. And this was, and obviously 12-year-old about yay tall. So I made this to help with that. And then anybody else who would want to use it that needed to be lifted up 4.5 inches. And so when I took this, and then wham, now, as you can see, I am now exactly perfect within my work zone. My elbow is in. So, and like I said, I didn't even swing the hammer. Just holding it up there. It wasn't a really big hammer. It was, I'm using this one for demonstration because it's a 1-pounder. But I was using the standard cold work 2-pounder because that's what I was going to do the video with. So, and yeah, and in less than a minute, my elbow was massively in pain. So remember, always, if you have to, get a block up, adjust your work height, and whatever you need to do to move things so that you're in the right working zone. Even sitting is actually not bad because when you're sitting, it doesn't allow you it allows you less shoulder movement. So I don't dismiss that. I just happen to like standing better. So with all of that in mind, remember maintain a proper hammer swing. All the steps in my swing are designed to minimize the vibrations up into the elbow. And basically an improper work height. My elbow is still sore 3 days later from it. So yes, and that's obviously very, very important to everyone that swings the hammer, your elbow. And please take all of this into consideration, and let's save our elbows. Anyway, thank you for watching. Remember, you are wonderful people.